Hi there, friends. So glad that you're here with me today. We are going to make whipped tallow body butter. Now, you may have heard it's all over the internet, the rage of tallow for your body. It is an amazing product, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we dive in today. So come along. Let's make this wonderful, skin nourishing, natural product. And bonus, it saves you money. Okay, so let's talk about what is tallow. Today I'm just going to use some commercially available tallow. This is 1,000 Hills lifetime grazed. That means these cows eat grass their entire life. They're not grass fed and then grain finished, which is an often misleading term that you will see in the market. Most cattle are grass fed. It's that last finishing that can change the profile of what is in their meat and fats. So this is lifetime grazed. I ordered this in a 6-pack from Azure Standard. I'll post a link down below for my referral code for Azure. If you've never checked it out, I definitely recommend that you do. Now, it is based in Oregon, and when we lived there, we were able to get delivery local. I could get more of the fresh and frozen foods and things. Now that we're clear across the country on the East Coast in Pennsylvania, that's a pretty far travel. So we've been mostly getting our flours and grains and things there. Lots of awesome gluten-free bulk flours, best prices I can find. However, because I have not taken the time yet to render my own tallow, I have also, this is my second time I've ordered these containers. My only caveat is I wished it did not come in plastic, but it's a pretty good product. So we're okay with that for now. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do and how we're going to turn this one container of tallow into a whipped tallow body balm or body butter, whatever you want to call it. Amazingly nourishing for your skin. So the first thing I'm going to do here is put this over the flame to soften it, because it's really hard to whip tallow that is solid. And once tallow has been rendered, it is quite a solid fat. This is a little bit more of a yellow tallow. That's one of the ways that you can tell if the cows eat grass or not. Whiter tallow is indicative less grass in the cow's diet. Okay, so while that warms over the flame, let's talk just a little bit about what I'm going to use. Okay, so while that's over the flame, let's talk just a little bit about what we're going to use in this product and the benefits of the components. So here is the last little bit of my last batch of body butter or body balm, whatever you'd like to call it. I made several of these back in November, and I sent them for Christmas gifts to some of our family back on the West Coast. And this was, my jar I kept for myself, and we are down to the nitty gritty. So it's time to make more. Now this one, you can still smell a little bit of the tallow smell. It's a little bit beefy. That's okay. But I did add vanilla, and I added orange essential oil, just a tiny bit. I have to be super careful with scents because I have mast cell disease, and so any kind of smell or chemical might trigger me at any time, even natural forms. I seem to be okay with citrus in minimal amounts. So the combination of our natural vanilla it's just home vanilla extract, and a little bit of essential oil gives it just a nice little creamsicle-y smell, flavor. Today we're not going to use orange because I guess I'm out. So we're going to use lemon and lime, maybe both. I'm not sure. Ooh, let me give this a stir. I hear it sizzling a little bit. Now we don't need to melt this. I just want to soften it. So since it is kind of melting pretty quickly, I might just go about halfway and pour it into the stand mixer so it's a combination of solid and melted, and let it kind of incorporate together. So I think that's what we're going to do. Okay. Well, we didn't get very far in the information because that was fast. We'll talk more as we go here. All right. Stand mixer. I'm going to go ahead and put this in. I'm going to put the the solid component in first just to try to prevent splashing because I don't want to splash any of that on me. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. Okay, that was not ideal. I'm going to maybe soften this a bit more and break it up. I think last time I just softened it all. I'm going to get a knife out and cut up this chunk. That probably would have been smart to do from the beginning. Maybe I should write myself directions for the next time. Since I have not been making this for long, it's still a learning process for me. The smaller chunks seem more realistic to work with. And that's probably what I did last time. I wish I had written down my steps or videoed, which I did neither. I just kind of jumped in and, what do you say, I was just winging it. So now I thought I kind of had a clear idea of what I was doing, but evidently I'm going to have to kind of figure it out again. At least I'll have this video to refer back to this time, so I'll have a better idea for next time. All right, that's working much better. So last time I added a little bit of coconut oil to it. This time I decided I'm going to go with castor oil because castor oil is super good for the skin. So I just have an organic castor oil. I'm not specific to any brand. I'm not loyal to any brand. I liked this one because it's in a dark bottle, which is protective of the oil. And I don't measure things, so we'll see. Okay, so I kind of did what I would call 4 glugs, like squeeze. So that's probably about 1/4 of a cup or like 4 tablespoons that I just put in there. I kind of want to rub this on my skin now because I've got it on my hands and it's so nourishing. Okay, while that's mixing, let's see if we can chat a little bit. So what is tallow? Tallow is rendered fat of ruminant animals. Ruminant animals mean animals that live on pasture or grass. Things like cows and sheep are ruminant animals. So it's simply you take the fat, you render it down. That means you cook it down and purify it a bit, and then you have this beautiful, solid, health, life-giving fat. It's really amazing. How is tallow different than lard? Well, lard is from pigs. Pretty simple. My tallow is from beef, lard is from pigs. So tallow and lard are ancient fats. They've been used by our ancestors for a very long time, way before the advent of nasty seed oils and hydrogenated oils and things like solidified Crisco poison. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Am I going to get in trouble for calling it poison? Some benefits of tallow. Tallow is high in CLA, or conjugated linoleic acid, and that comes from the cows being grass-fed primarily. It is a super powerful anti-inflammatory, very wonderful for our health, and that's part of what makes it so good for our skin as well. It's also high in vitamins A, D, E, and K, especially when the cows eat grass. That gives them a higher concentration of the K vitamins. Let's take a peek at how this tallow is doing over here. We're going to scrape it down. You can see now we're starting to get a whipped texture. There's still some chunkies and things in there, but it's definitely on its way. I'm just going to make sure we get all that scraped down so it can keep whipping. And I don't want to lose any of this, so I'm wiping off this spatula as I go here. Okay, we're going to turn this back on and let it go a little longer. All right, so tallow also is high in omegas 3 and 6, both, which is really good for your health in general, which is why we like to cook with it as well. It does have a high smoke point, which means you can cook at high temperatures with tallow and it doesn't go rancid or bad. That is very important when you are doing any kind of high heat cooking, as many types of fats and oils only can be heated to about 300 degrees Fahrenheit before you lose their health benefits and actually start damaging the fats. Things like olive oil should never be used for high heat cooking. So in regards to our skin and why we make the body balm is that tallow is anti-inflammatory, but it is also antimicrobial and antifungal. That means it can help ward off those little microorganisms, the little fungus and the little bacterias that can be damaging to our skin and our health. So it's a super powerful product for skin healing. Now, I have to say, we sent these to my husband's family on the West Coast, like I said, for Christmas, and his aunt reached out after a few weeks, and none of the family had ever heard of Tallow Balm or attempted to use these before, but she said that it is the only thing that has helped her skin condition, that she has been seeing dermatology for quite a while, tried lots of different prescriptions, and this has actually been the most beneficial product or item that she has used, and it's completely natural, guys, and it's readily available for all of us, and it's so much cheaper than spending fortunes on medical care and pharmaceuticals. So my take is this should be in everybody's cabinet, and it should be our first approach to healing before we have to go further into medical care. Now, maybe you'll still need that. I can't guarantee, obviously, but it's a great first line, right? And give it a try and see. I wear a Dexcom over here on my arm. I think I told you guys that in a previous video. And I wear that because I am trying to regulate my blood sugars so that I do not develop type 2 diabetes, which every woman on my mom's side has had well before my current age. I'm 46. And I think my mom was diagnosed by 38 or 39. Anyway, so I'm working hard to prevent that. So last time, though, I had it on the back of my left arm. And when I took it off after 10 days, my arm literally bled and my skin just tore. It was terrible. Now, I think that my skin is so sensitive because I'm in surgical menopause and it's been 7 years since my uterus and ovaries and everything left, so I have no hormones naturally, and my skin is starting to get really thin. So I think that's why I had such a hard time with that one. However, I immediately pulled out my tallow and put it on, and by the next day, the pain and the burning and the redness had decreased so much. Like, I can't even explain to you how much better it was. We use it on my daughter, who's medically complex, around her feeding tubes on her abdomen that can get so inflamed and sore, any kind of skin things, diaper rashes, that kind of stuff. It's just amazing. Okay, let's check on that tallow again. It definitely smells beefy. I have not added any oils, essential oils to this yet. Oh my gosh, but it almost looks like whipped cream now, you guys. I don't know if you can see that. So light and fluffy. Oh, look. I pulled my mixer right off. That's hilarious. My beater. Okay. Wow, that is phenomenal. Okay, let's get this back on here. I must have turned it just right and then I hit it with the spatula as I lowered the bowl. Okay, yay. And you know, I don't mind that I'm getting a little bit on my skin because I'm just going to rub it in. Okay, there's still a couple more little chunks in there, so I'm going to give it a bit more time. I'm going to go ahead and add some lemon essential oil. Okay, that was 10 drops. We'll see. And then I'm going to also add about 5 drops of lime. Okay, and we will see how that smells here in a bit, and I'll decide if I need to add more or not. Okay, while this is finishing up, let's talk a little bit about why I added castor oil to this batch. So castor oil has numerous health benefits. We know that it's great for your skin, your hair. People use it on their eyebrows and their eyelashes to help. So many benefits. It's also commonly used in things like abdominal packs to help with menstrual pain and like liver detoxification and things. It's like readily absorbed through your skin, and it has so many health benefits. So I decided why not use that as my little bit of additive to this tallow balm today. I like to have a little bit of a combination to maximize the benefit because I don't want to use multiple products. I'd rather just use one thing. So the combination of the healing benefits of the tallow and the healing benefits of the castor oil is just phenomenal. So that's where we're at today. All right, let's take a look and see if we're done with this whipped tallow body balm or body butter now. There is a little bit of solid tallow still on my beater here. So I'll probably push that in to try to get that all combined because I just want to be able to incorporate all of it. But you guys, let me show you. I don't know. Like we started with a solid brick and now we have this fluffy, creamy balm or lotion. It is just phenomenal. Oh my gosh, it looks almost like whipped cream. The lemon and lime have given it a very nice little smell. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and push out the rest of this from the beater. I'm going to just use a smaller spatula to get in here and do that. All right. So excited to have more of this. I meant to make it a while ago, and you know, life, you get busy and you just don't get it done. And I had only kept a small batch for myself out the last one, so I went through it faster. Normally this one batch would last our house, you know, months and months and months. Okay, so we're just going to let it whip just a few more minutes, and then I think we are done. All right, this looks phenomenal, and I think that was just the right amount of the essential oils. It just has a light scent now that helps reduce the beefy smell, just in case that bothers anybody. And the beefy smell is not strong at all, but there is a slight natural earthy smell. And I've noticed that I have a super sensitive sense of smell, part of my mast cell issues. So to me, I might smell it, but then once it's on, it dissipates very quickly, even to me. And other people don't notice it at all when they use it. So I think it's just my extreme sense of smell that notices any beefy smell in it. Okay, I'm going to try to pack it all into one jar here. Well, that's quite the full jar. I will have to move some of this, but it looks kind of pretty, so I'm going to keep it here for now. Just, oh, feels so good on my hands. Now, the one thing I was thinking about, and I should have done this at the beginning, I was going to take a little bit and put it on. See how I get very red in here? So because of my mast cell disease, I get an issue where I will get burning in my skin. I react to a lot of things. And I had a flare up last night. And normally my flare-ups go away pretty quickly. I've got a pretty good handle on them. Now, I didn't really do any treatment for it, but I suspect that we have a little bit of a leak in our mini splits because I did react last time. We had a little bit of a refrigerant leakage, and we had an error on our downstairs mini split yesterday, and then the flare started when I was in our room on the phone last night, and that was where I had noticed an odor that was different when we had that error code and a little bit of refrigerant leakage. So I suspect that's what's going on here. But I was going to apply some of the tallow at the beginning just to see how it would help that. I haven't tried it yet, but it's anti-inflammatory. And this is all the mast cells in my body release a bunch of mediators. My body thinks it's allergic to everything. So I get these inflammation, and this feels super painful. It feels like under my skin is like burning or like I'm being branded, and it actually swells and it turns almost purpley red at its worst case scenario. And it's always worse on the right side of my face because the injury that I had 12, maybe almost 13 years ago now that caused this affected my right side of my body worse. It was a brain injury to a specific product, shall we say, that some people like to push when you have an injury like stepping on a nail, which I had done. And even though I knew better, I let them give me said product, and I had major brain inflammation, and the right side of my body went numb, including my brain, my head, my face, and I've had paralysis on my right side. It's more minimal now, but it's still there, and I've had lots of other systemic issues now for that last 12 years. I'm getting better because I am healing, and I believe I can get better. But anyway, that's kind of what activated this mast cell over proliferation that I have, and it's kind of been a spiral since then, and we're constantly working to improve and get better. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put a little tallow on and just kind of see how it helps later in the day, and I'll report back in our next video about that. Let's take a look at this beautiful tallow. You guys, this is phenomenal. So healing for your body, so nourishing for your skin. Beautiful. Okay, friends, well, that's it from me today. Blessings upon your day, and stay prepared.